Everybody knows by Mottele Chernoble, he had the highest Kabbalists, because in Chernoble is like, it's a little bit hidden, but the hiddenness is shining right through. But besides the great Kabbalists and the great Rebbes, there are also water carrier, tailors, shoemakers, who know nothing and yet they know everything. So at one time on a wagon going back to their city are the great rabbis, the Kabbalists, and they discuss the teachings they received from Heilige Mottele Chernoble. This is about 200 years ago. And among them is just Mottele, the water carrier. He cannot take part in the discussion because he didn't understand the teaching. He's so downhearted, sitting there a little lonely, lost. Suddenly one of the Chassidim feels it's not fair. Got to give him a little bit encouragement. And he says to Mottele, how was the Shabbos for you? Mottele is so glad somebody's talking to him. Mottele says, it was the greatest Shabbos of my life. Why was it the greatest Shabbos in your life? Because the Rebbe spoke to me private, Friday night, 3 o'clock in the morning. Suddenly there was silence, because none of them had the privilege of talking to the Rebbe alone. Friday night, 3 o'clock, can you imagine? They say, Mottele, tell us. Mottele says, I was sitting by the feast Friday night, and the Rebbe was pouring out his heart with the deepest teachings of the world. I didn't understand a word. I was so downhearted. I went to the synagogue, I put my head on the table and I was crying. I was ashamed of myself, that I don't know anything. And obviously the Rebbe in His holiness, the Rebbe's heart and eyes who see from one corner of the world to the other, he must have sensed my sadness. Suddenly the Rebbe's shamus, the Rebbe's bodyguard, comes to me and he says, hey Mottele, immediately the Rebbe wants to see you. He says, can you imagine Friday night, the holiness in the Rebbe's room, the joy, the simcha, the bliss, and the Rebbe's just, even heaven is too low for that. The Rebbe says to me, Mottele, tell me exactly what you do in the morning. And I say, Rebbe, I'm a water carrier, and I wake up 2 in the morning, and then I rush from one peasant house to the other bringing water, because the peasants wake up about 3 o'clock and they need their water. Until 7, I don't have a minute time. 7 o'clock I finished with the water, I go to the synagogue and I pray. Mottele says to me, can't you say at least a few prayers when you wake up? And like I said, Rebbe, you know how to be a Rebbe, but I know how to be a water carrier. And I don't have a minute time, because the peasants are waiting for their water. Mottele began to laugh. He says, Mottele, you know how you sound? Exactly like Chatzkel David from Monopoly. Let me tell you, Chatzkel David won a number. He won 100,000 rubles. And he doesn't have a single penny yet, he just won the number. He's on his way to St. Petersburg, and there he collects, because they took off a little bit for taxes, he collected 91,000 ruble and 37 kopecks. He makes himself 2 bundles, one with the 91,000 ruble and another one with the 37 kopecks. And he still has the consciousness of a poor schlepper. He doesn't want to waste his money on traveling by train or by wagon. He walks. Then the next Shabbos he passes the village, and he has to keep his money somewhere over Shabbos. Goes to the rabbi and says to him, I won 100,000 rubles, tells him the whole story. Can you please hide the money for me over Shabbos? Sure. He's the rabbi's guest. And the whole Shabbos the rabbi feels that Chatzkel David doesn't trust him, and that he's really afraid he'll steal the money. So 1 second after Shabbos is over, the rabbi runs into his room and takes the one bag with the 91,000 rubles and gives it to him and says, here, Chatzkel David, here's your 91,000 ruble. He looks at him with suspicion. He says, yeah, But where are the 37 kopekes? Please don't you do the same. You trust God with your life. At night when you go to sleep, you trust God with your soul. And in the morning, God gives you back your soul. God gives you back your 91,000 rubles. But you don't trust God with the 37 kopekes. All the Chassidim got together. Mottele, you got the real teaching. And you know, my beautiful friends, this teaching, so holy, so awesome. I had the privilege once to play in Israel for thousands of people. And I told them, you know what the problem in the Holy Land is? We don't trust Him yet with the 37 kopekes. So bless you and me, all of us. Just 1 ounce more trusting. Shabbos G'Yom Tov.